Hello there, my name is Corey, and I am a Star War.
And my name is also Corey, and I am a Star War.
And my name is Jim, and I am a Star War.
And we
are a Star War.
First things first, let me go ahead and say I'm sorry to my fellow podcast co-hosts because we had a pretty epic recording session about a month and a half ago, and I lost all 3 episodes that were recorded somehow. Not sure if I just put them on somewhere in a hard drive where I lost them, which just doesn't seem right because I'm very organized in my folders, but I think I just formatted the card without dumping them, which is very possible. So
how dare you?
We are re-recording at least 2 of those episodes because we don't remember what the third one was about.
It's probably a good reason.
It's probably for the best.
It's for the best.
But also, we are going to open real quick a couple, 3, in fact, Star Wars Black Series figures that were sent to us by a friend of the show, Drew Kellogg.
Shout out, Drew.
Shout out, Drew.
The first one is Quill from The Mandalorian.
Sweet.
I have spoken. Jimmy, you can
like
do that one?
I like that one. I'm going to open them.
Corey, you can do Emperor Palpatine.
Somehow.
There you go, Palpies.
Somehow.
And I'm going to open Princess Leia Organa Bausch from Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
Bounty Hunter Leia.
Yeah,
Bounty Hunter Leia.
I like that one.
We appreciate Drew. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. I'm going to knock my microphone over. Sorry.
Y'all got to step up because we put out a challenge. Okay, it wasn't a challenge. We just said if y'all want to send us figures,
We were just begging for toys.
that we would open it. And Drew sent us some figures, and we're being very loud. And now I have Leia open. This is a badass looking figure.
This is a good looking figure.
I mean, all of these are.
He even looks like Nick Nolte.
Yeah. Oh, look, the helmet. The helmet comes off. It's separate.
This is wrinkled nutsack Palpatine.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Very accurate.
It looks like he and Voldemort
everywhere.
shop at the same cloak store.
Look at that shit. It's badass. The helmet fits on there very snugly. Yeah, hell yeah.
That's Avocado in the background squeaking her turkey.
I'm going to open these other accessories in a little while. But yeah, thank you, Drew. That's awesome.
Thank you, Drew.
Thank you,
We
Drew.
appreciate that. So let's get into now. One of the lost episodes was our recap and opinions on the last 2 episodes of Ahsoka. So I went back last night and rewatched those 2 because it had been a hot minute since I've seen them and wanted to have a little more recent viewing. So I could have at least a decent conversation about it.
I did not rewatch them, so I'm not prepared.
I rewatched them because I knew Hera was in it. And I enjoyed.
Yes.
She didn't disappoint.
Is this the sex episode?
No.
No, we should save
we
that.
It's
gotta
coming.
save
We're
that one.
gonna.
Yep.
We'll talk more about it in a sex episode.
Let's do that. So recap episode 7.
So episode 7 was called Dreams and Madness, and written by Dave Filoni. I'm gonna read from Wikipedia here. It starts off on Coruscant with Syndulla. She's standing in front of the subcommittee
The
of
council.
something. Yeah. And she's getting in trouble.
That's right.
But then C-3PO shows up and he's like, Leia says it's cool, so then everything's cool. Right? That was fun.
That was fun.
It was fun. It was a nice way to answer the what is Leia doing? Why isn't she on the show?
Right.
So I love that.
Just bailing people out.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Pulling rank.
Ahsoka is on the inside of a space whale flying across the galaxy.
As you do.
Yeah.
Into a different galaxy.
And she lands in the bad galaxy, and we had already met Ezra in the last episode. That's all together, and they're trying to figure out how to. Thrawn is trying to figure out how to get off the planet. He's like,
right.
"Let's leave."
He's got something going on with the witches.
Something on. It seems to me like he would be ready. But he just sits around for hours, and he's like, I better not let those Jedi get up here. I hope they don't climb the ladder I've left to my spaceship and catch me.
Right.
Like, he just chills. Why doesn't he just get up and go? He has to send his reanimated fart soldiers to fight them on the ground. Just take off. I don't know. I feel like he'd be ready.
They were loading something that wasn't on the ship, right?
Were they?
Because they make a big deal out of that at the end of one episode. I don't remember which one it is. Like, there was progress of something that had to be complete, and it's whatever is in his cargo hold that the witches are loading into.
They do have a shot of that at the very end, and it looks like a bunch of coffins. So I guess he has like a zombie army.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, back to this. They fight with the. He sends Thrawn sends people down to the surface to fight with them, and Hottie is fighting with them.
Right.
Around the. This is where we are with the turtle people.
But we've already seen them in the last
We saw them.
That's right.
But now we see that the huts they live in are actually hover tanks.
Oh, yeah. That's
which
right.
is strange to me.
Well, because they're hermit crabs.
Yeah.
And so it's like a little guy in a shell wearing a shell, drives a shell, and is in a shell.
But his shell
That's meta as fuck.
is like pretty impressive technology for like a crab man who lives on a desolate planet without trees.
So I'll try not to do this because I don't want to belabor the fact that Corey deleted the original recording of this, but I do remember us talking about this. And there was a lot of conversation about what that planet was and what it used to be.
Yeah.
And that there has to have been some technical, archaeological remnants of whatever civilization there was before, because again, how the hell would these guys be building their own little machines and repairing the Star Destroyer and that sort of thing?
Like, where do they get gas for those things? I have to
the
worry.
whale dung that
The
falls
fuel.
from the atmosphere.
Oh,
right?
Whales. This is also where Balin Skull is like, hey, Hottie, have a good time fighting bad people. I am going to Mordor. And then he just leaves.
Right.
And we don't see him again until the very, very end. Thrawn pulls his troops, and then they're like, Hottie, come here, we can be your friend. And then Hottie just takes off running in the opposite direction.
She was mad.
That was the low-key funniest part of the whole series. When she just like takes off running. Like, not like force running, not like impressive running, just running.
Yeah, she was just trying to get out.
It was funny to me. And then Ahsoka reunites finally with Sabine Wren and Ezra. And they're like, yay, we got to get out of here. But yay, we're here.
Yeah, because Ezra thought Ahsoka was dead because Sabine thought Ahsoka was dead.
Right.
Yes. Last they saw her, she got knocked into the water and into the other.
I mean, Sabine never really had to come clean with Ezra that, it was kind of her fault.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, thank God you're here. Whew. There goes my guilty conscience. All better now.
Yeah. She did almost kill Ahsoka that time.
Right.
So that's the end of that episode. That's 7.
Yep. So thoughts on that one, or do you want to read 8 and then we'll just talk about all of them together?
Let's just go through 8 and then discuss as a whole, because it all kind of runs together.
We'll get this part over with quickly because we know you guys have probably watched it too.
But they didn't watch it. That was months ago too.
That was, yeah.
They don't remember.
So we're here to help.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm the audience's voice in this episode then.
So part 8 is the Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord.
In the wardrobe.
Yes. This one, like, all the action is in this one episode. So it opens up with them turning the not mother into a mother.
Right.
And so they're like, you are now a mother and you get a green sword that's on fire.
As you do.
Congratulations. We have
Try not to burn your hilt.
conjured it from midair and it's for you now. And then there's like fighter attacks, and so Ahsoka and Bridger like are knocked down, and the ship has to go fly away. Like Huang Wang has to fly the ship away.
Yeah.
Couldn't be there for a minute. He was chasing. I don't know.
I was going to get fuel for the hermit crabs.
And basically they get to like the foot of the temple that the
Is the Star
Destroyer
is it
is
still parked? on
currently
it? Yeah.
humping. Yeah. And they have
It's
to
docked.
they have to get to the top. He's about to take off, but he can't yet. They don't know where the keys are. They're kind of sitting around.
Right. The engine's cold. Like it's got to get primed.
Yeah.
It's like trying to start a shitty lawnmower.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they're like, dude, we
Don't
haven't-
flood it.
How long have they been there? Years? Have they been sitting there for
I
years?
think we decided it was 10 years. I
Yeah.
thought it was
Yeah, that
45
sounds
years
right.
because I thought Ezra looked 45.
Yeah. It's been 8 to 10 years, I think. Right?
Yeah.
That sounds right.
So it's going to take a little
Because
while.
their
to,
years, I'm sorry, their cycles are exactly as long as our years.
Of course. All over all galaxies.
All galaxies.
So then they get to the ship and night soldiers, night troopers, night mothers, a lot
Night
of
moon.
night moon. People get killed and then they just stand back up and everybody's like, what?
Yeah, that was
And they're
kinda cool.
What? What's going on?
I liked it.
And that's when it becomes clear to us. That's why that one guy turned out to be a fart in a bag.
Yeah.
Because he was just a reanimated
That was a neat trick.
night man.
I'll try spinning.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we'll save that for later.
Say that. So then she throws Ezra up on the ship because it's finally starting to take off. Mm-hmm. And then she's
she's got her force mojo at that point.
Yeah.
Which was a big deal.
So she throws him up there and he's supposed to pull her back. And then she's like, no, never mind. And she turns around and goes back to Ahsoka, who's still fighting with Lisbeth with the green sword. Lisbeth uses her green flame sword to bust up one of Ahsoka's sabers.
Her small
Yeah.
one.
So then Ahsoka kills her and takes her sword. She's like, I have to have two swords no matter what.
I can't move forward without.
I can't be one sworded.
Right.
Need two swords. So she kills Lisbeth. Thing takes off.
And Elizabeth was like, wasn't she like, you didn't have to kill me. Like, you could borrow it. Like,
Yeah.
You could borrow it sometimes.
Yeah.
You didn't have to run me through with it.
There's only like 20 of us on this planet right now. Let's
Right.
talk about this.
Right.
There's 3 swords.
You're going to
20
be
of
here for a
us.
while. I can tell you where the fuel is.
Yeah. I did write down at the end, like where this show leaves us. So at the very end, we have Ahsoka and Sabine are stuck with the turtle people. They go back to them and they're like, we live here now. Hi, turtle men.
Yeah, their ship is fucked.
And the turtle men are like, oh, cool.
Is it?
Well, their ship works, but they can't.
Right. They
can't make that
the
jump.
And the whales have moved on
The whales are mad
to a
at them
different spawning
'cause
ground.
They got shot at. Hottie goes and joins the red people.
Right. The bandits.
And she says, hello, everyone. I have a sword. And they're like, I guess you're our leader. And then Balin is standing on a giant statue looking at Mordor.
Looking at Mordor.
There's no way to interpret that any other way. He's just left
Looking
the
at Mount
franchise
Doom.
and he is now searching for a ring.
He is the Lord of the Ring.
He is the Lord of the Rings.
He is now the Lord of the Ring.
He is the Lord in the Lord of the Rings. He is.
It's
Lord
Balin. Lord
Balin.
Balin. See, it's right there in his title.
So we did go through all that last time. Like the statue was from an episode of, was it Rebels?
It was Rebels. Yeah.
Rebels.
Yeah. What
So it's like pointing it to like the original temple of something, right? Like,
the Jedi temples, right? Am I crazy?
well, I thought we saw the original Jedi temple where Luke was.
Yeah, and that's in a different galaxy. I think this
Is like the origin of some other thing,
well, and
some deeper force.
so my
thing.
question is, and again, I'm a nerd, but I'm not that deep into it. Is the magic wielded by the witches of Dathomir and this group on this planet, is that magic the Force wielded differently, or is it something else?
Well,
Fantastic question.
they call it,
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that question.
the witches called it magics, which makes me think it's something different. Unless they just call it something different, but you would think they would have alluded to that in some way.
And does it have anything to do with midichlorians?
Hope not.
They have Dudichlorians,
There you go.
which
Because it's a
exist
different,
alongside of the midichlorians.
right. It's like antimatter and matter.
Some people have just one or the other. Some people are all doo-doo.
Some people are left-handed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So getting back to it, whatever that thing is that Balin is going after is likely old magic and or old force power, maybe something. I don't know.
He didn't he allude to like wanting to start over with the Jedi, like tearing it all down, right?
Because he's
Is he
never
looking for the reset button.
Yeah.
he's
Like-
never really like a Sith. He's never like he's
He was
orange,
like
not red.
Yeah,
right.
a hired mercenary, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That was kind of what I thought was. That
But he is
was like,
ex-Jedi.
Yes.
He's like, because he was ex-Jedi. He was like, well, they started doing some shit I didn't agree with, so he was like, I'm gonna do my own shit. So I thought he alluded to
That happened
at
to
some
a
point.
lot of Jedi, by the way.
Turns out
Turns out a lot of Jedi
that-
grow up to resent the institution that they
cannot
work for.
swing a dead cat in this galaxy without
And
hitting
not hit a
somebody
pissed off
who's
former
like,
Jedi.
well, I actually was a Jedi.
So
Right.
like he and
For
Ahsoka
many
should
years.
probably team up, right?
And
Yeah.
go on some madcap zany adventures.
I mean, there's only like 5 of them on that planet with the red people and the turtle people.
They originally said it was only going to be one series, Ahsoka, and then there's been a lot of speculation lately about a possible season 2. Because if they don't, are they going to tie all this stuff up in the movie that Dave Filoni is going to make?
Well, they've got a couple of other shows that they can use to dip in to what's going on over here, like they did on Boba Fett with Mando.
Mando season 4.
They've shown us already that they don't mind crossing characters into different shows, and in the case of Boba Fett, giving 2 whole episodes to a different character.
Yeah.
True.
Well, that's on that planet. We end with all of the main characters over there. But then back in real world, Ezra shows up and we see Hera from behind again.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thrawn shows up on Darth Thamir and he's ready to start his bullshit. He's like, I'm here, Empire. Woo. Cut to credits.
I like the way Ezra showed up. That was very, very true to the character.
I mean,
from
wearing an outfit of the enemy and like inviting them to
I know it didn't,
shoot him in the head.
make sense, but this is Star Wars. But it was a nice callback. That was fan service.
They could have murdered him.
They could have.
And I would have been like, yeah, why are you wearing that mask, idiot?
He should have, yeah, when the fucking gate went down or the ramp, just be like, all right, I'm taking this mask off.
Did he say?
Yeah.
Did he say that it was Jabba the Hutt piloting the ship? Like, is that a deleted scene?
I don't believe so.
Right, where he's like, "Hey, this is Jabba the Hutt. My security clearance code is like
420,
Echo 49."
69.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, and also at the very end, Anakin is a Force ghost smiling happily.
right.
Shadows in the starlight.
Yeah.
I thought that was nice. It was a nice send off for Anakin. Like, it was their way, I think, of saying, like, this is it for him.
I still want a standalone series. I want a standalone movie,
I mean, I wouldn't be mad, but
like a Dirty Dozen style. I know they did that with Rogue One, but I want to see like a secret mission from the Clone Wars that was never in the movie, and I want to see Hayden Christensen doing that. Sign me up.
I feel like he's down.
I'm down.
He's having fun now.
Hell yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, Ahsoka did get her closure, which was like the whole last scene in that show was it's time to move on.
That's true.
Excuse me.
Speaking of moving on, what's next?
So we settled on that that's fart zombies.
Yeah. That's magics.
So if this picks up and it shows the inside of his Star Destroyer is full of these look like coffins. So is his plan to restart the Empire is to show up with a army of fart zombies?
I think that's probably his fighting force to start with. Clearly, he's got folks that are waiting for him to show up. You know, Elsbeth isn't here anymore, but, you know, think of all of the warlord Imperials that were splintered and left over. You know, it's not going to take him very long to scare 1 or 2 of them with his, you know, zombie army. And now he's doubled his forces, you know?
Yeah.
Or is this where the First Order starts?
It has to eventually.
Start at some point, right?
We're not that much before it. A few years.
Yeah, and like Mon Mothra has been basically warned by Hera that like, hey, Thrawn's coming.
Yeah. Heads up.
Omar coming. Y'all ever watch The Wire?
Yeah.
Thrawn coming. You hear that motherfucker whistle coming down the alley. Yeah, I mean, that's it could be. I mean, it could be the start of the First Order, but like, yeah, he took them all to Dathomir to like wake them up, basically, right?
I'm thinking it's not the start of the First Order. I think it's the deal that he made with the witches that were in that other galaxy was that he could get them to a place where they could reestablish themselves. And I don't remember if he was involved in the slaughter on Dathomir the first go around, but he certainly would have knowledge of it. So he knows what happened to them. And so he's, that makes sense. That transaction makes sense, that they would help him repair his ship and get his soldiers ready if he can get them to Dathomir. So he may just be fulfilling his end of the bargain with them. And now he's got, like, there's no guarantee that it has to be that he's using a zombie army to retake the Empire. Because I really do think him just showing up and talking to a couple of those Imperial warlords, they're going to be like, all right, let's go. And now he's got all the force he needs there.
I guess so. I guess there's remnants all over who are like, they had it better under the Empire because they were gangsters in charge of their...
Right.
Even earlier in the season of Ahsoka, right?
When?
Earlier. They were, there was a scene where they were like in the command station or something, right? And then dude is like, for the Empire! And they have this whole shootout, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, and then, of course, everything with Mandalorian Season 3 with Moff Gideon and all of the other Moffs meeting and, wasn't Elsbeth in that? Where she's like, hey, Thrawn's coming. Yes. Maybe not. She may not have been in there, but they were addressing his return, and several of them were like, that's bogus. He's not coming back. Because
they were calling it conspiracies. That's what old Senator Grouchy Face was talking about. Mm-hmm. And when he kept trying to shoot down Hera and Mon Mothma in that first Senate hearing.
Yeah.
On Coruscant.
True.
Earlier.
Because he said they mentioned conspiracies with the Moff. He said with Gideon.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, I mean, I'm assuming that whether it's a second season or in the movie, we're going to find out what's in those containers and what his plan was. It makes perfect sense for him to be the big bad in the movie because he has no presence in the sequels and they're not that far timeline wise. So, it could be that, now we're speculating, but that's half the fun. It could be that he is like that the Republic does successfully participate in repelling Thrawn trying to take over, right?
Right.
And that them doing that is why they were complacent and not paying attention to the First Order and why they were caught off guard there. Like, I don't think we have to tie the First Order into Thrawn in order for it to make sense.
Right.
You right.
Star Wars.
There's a lot of dogs barking out
Does he know that while he was gone, the original trilogy happened and the rebellion destroyed the Empire? Like, he's caught up on all that, right? If not, he's going to be so bummed out.
He's going to be pretty salty. He's got to know, right? Because,
I mean,
remind me again.
I mean, is he getting news on the other galaxy that he's
There's got to be. I mean, because clearly the witches and
the witches were dreaming, and that's how Elsbeth found her.
Right, they had email,
so they can communicate.
The magics
somehow.
Elsbeth at magics.net, hosted on Geospace.
Yeah. So I guess he knows. He's smart. He knows.
It's a small how the hell, but
it's not the worst one.
It's not the worst one.
It's still a how the hell.
Now, what I want to know is, back to the space whales. They're big. They can put...
And there's more than one.
There's a lot of them. We know that they live and die. They're not immortal because we see their bodies floating around this planet.
The boneyard.
Therefore, they reproduce. Therefore, they have genitals. So my question is, if it was all whale, absolutely, we're looking at the biggest dongs.
Oh, yeah. No,
in the Star Wars universe.
If they're whales that are at all like our whales, yeah.
But the back half of them are squids. And as far as I know, squids don't have peckers at all. They have beaks, but no peckers.
What do you think, Corey?
I had never really given much thought to space dick.
So let me ask
You don't wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, you know what? How does the Sarlacc
That's exactly
make
what I do.
Sarlacc babies?
Go outside, nerd.
You ever seen a...
I ain't got time for your worthless chime-ins.
So if it's not the biggest wang, because of the squid part is the part that does it,
Right.
what does have the biggest wang? So here's some possibilities. That big like sand dragon, crate dragon.
Oh, yeah.
That thing's huge.
There's
that'd
some
be a big
large
old-
underwater species in
Freaking what's the thing in
Phantom
Mandalore?
Menace.
The
Oh, yeah, the mudhorn.
the mythosaur.
Mythosaur.
the Mythosaur.
That thing's
That's
huge.
it.
Mythosaur.
That's the one.
Is it bigger than the animal that was living inside the cave on the asteroid that the Millennium Falcon parked inside?
I thought that was the asteroid's dong.
Is that the dong?
With the mouth and teeth?
It's scary.
That's a scary dong.
A lot of aliens have mouths and teeth on their dongs.
You can thank H.R. Geiger for that.
That's just a fact. We know that.
You know,
So does the mythosaur have the biggest dong, you think, in the whole
think
universe
so.
so far that we have seen?
I think so.
Side quest. It's not really a
What's
side
bigger?
quest.
What's a
How much time do you plan on devoting to it?
we got nowhere to be. So in Solo, when they're flying through the whatever,
Oh yeah, no,
there's a
that's right. There's a
giant-
giant
that thing is huge.
Cthulhu-looking thing inside the Kessel.
That thing is gotta
There's-
have
there's
a
the
big
dog.
dong, right?
But is it male?
Right.
It
Is it female?
It
Or-
probably just
or is
cuts
it
off
like a
itself
squid?
like a starfish and makes new ones.
It's the other half of the whale. It's got a whale back end.
oh shit!
It's got a squid front end and a whale back
A
end.
big tail
Yep.
and whale dong.
There you go. And that's why it's mad. It's like, what do I do with this?
I live inside this maelstrom. No one can visit me.
I'm hungry all the time.
Y'all wild.
All right, so smash that like button and comment down below if you can think of a bigger dong.
Please and thank you.
Down there, just click comment, and then you'll see the cursor. And then once the cursor is blinking, you can type.
You explaining the internet to
Yeah.
people.
There's only 2 people listening, and they are very old.
So what do y'all think? I mean, next steps after this, if they do another series, how the hell do Ahsoka and Sabine get off of that?
I can't see how they could just jump into a movie and be like, let's cover the whole Thrawn thing in 2 hours.
That's why I'm thinking we're
Because
going
they'd also have to work in how are they getting back and how are they
right.
whatever.
We're
It has to be a season.
and if what Balin finds in Mordor is supposed to be this supreme, raw original power that's capable of resetting everything, that's a big bad on top of Thrawn. That's going to be too much juice.
And that's also a huge problem because that man has passed away.
Right. I mean, they got to if they want to finish that storyline, they got to recast him. I vote for Liev Schreiber. But
That would be great.
a second season could answer what he was after, how it can be stopped, and how they get home. Mm-hmm. And then you still have all of the Thrawn drama to play out with in the movie.
Right.
Because I would like to see the Balin character. Ray Stevens was incredible. The character was also compelling, and I'd like to see more from the character.
Yeah, I'm for that.
I hope they don't just walk
Forget about
away
it.
from Mordor.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they did because that is not connected in my mind to anything else at all. So if that's the one thing that they had to drop, then I'd be like, yeah, one guy found something on Mordor once. Oh, well.
And it killed him.
Yeah. He's
Right.
fucking dead now. Or he's the
character.
most powerful badass on some other planet in another galaxy that we'll never see anyway.
Balin Skull died on the way back to his home planet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Simpsons, y'all. Carter uses that reference all the time about things. He loves that shit.
That's a classic.
Yeah, I don't know how they don't do a second season. They could, like you said, put it in some other series, but I feel like that would be lessening it a little bit, probably.
True, but I mean, those 2 Mando episodes were pretty damn juicy in Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
But it made you want another Mando season.
Right.
It didn't make you say, oh, well, now I know what happened to him with Luke, so I don't need any more from that.
True.
It was also weird that they put that in there. It should have been part of Mando's season. The Luke and all that shit, but whatever. I'm crazy.
Nah, now you're just making sense.
That's all I do.
Mm-hmm. So of all the series that are out, where does this one rank for you guys? The Star Wars series?
Andor's still the best.
For real?
Andor.
What's better than Andor?
Andor's really good.
I don't know.
What have we had?
Mando season 1 is probably at the top for me because it's the most Star Wars. Because Andor, to me, succeeds in being, because it's not at all about the Jedi.
Right.
It's a whole other aspect of the universe that is fascinating, and all the political intrigue and all of that was incredible to watch. But as far as the best Star Wars series, I think that first season of Mandalorian just nailed it. And I thought Ahsoka was good, was really, really, really good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I think it's got probably one of the better episodes of any of the series.
That's true.
Is.
That's true.
All right. Episode 5. Was it 5? Episode 5?
Yep.
Anakin.
Yeah. That shit was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
What would you say? What would you do?
Well, I mean, I feel like that was like 100% fan service. It was just like, here's what you want to see. You want to see Hayden in the Clone Wars, yada, yada.
But it also,
But it was amazing.
moved the story. Yeah, it furthered things. So it wasn't completely... I mean, it was fan service for sure, but...
I mean, they all kind of are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, I think that we're probably close to wrapping this up unless y'all got final thoughts.
Nah, I'm good, son.
Cool. Well, yeah, y'all follow us if you don't already. We are on Instagram mostly and Threads at We Are a Star War. Follow us there.
I signed up for Threads too. I have no idea how I did it.
Don't follow Jim on Threads because he's not paying attention.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I'm going to try to start using the Threads account a little more. Follow us there. Please tell your friends about us and like us and review us or whatever.
If you leave a review, you're telling your friends all around the world about us.
There you go. That's where I was going.
All around the world.
Apple Podcast reviews and Spotify reviews supposedly help us get more eyeballs into other people's feeds and such. And our t-shirts are still up. I thought we got another notice that they were being taken down from TeePublic.
It said for real this time.
But they're still there because I ordered one a couple nights ago finally.
Oh, really? I'm going to get some more.
Yeah,
I think we're the only ones that have ordered t-shirts.
Probably so. Jimmy has one or a couple. I ordered one. Corey hasn't ordered one yet by that look on his face.
He said he was going to make his own.
Yeah, go to tpublic.com and if you search for the Alabama Take, just find the Alabama Take store and we're listed in there because I think it was made intentionally so you can't search us.
Yeah, if you do search for something called "This Has Nothing to Do with Star Wars," then you'll see it.
Yeah, because we've been taken down once before, but it's still there. So go get a t-shirt.
Cautioned you before, unless it was in the deleted episode, don't search for butthole.
Yeah, don't search for buttholes. Apparently, our logo has gone completely over several people's heads that our logo is 3 buttholes talking
cerebral.
about Star Wars.
It is.
Because that's what we are.
It's cerebral.
It's not supposed to smack you in the face.
No. It's just like a little light
It
kiss.
just glides up against it.
Right.
Yeah, it just gently wafts by. It doesn't hit you.
Well, I think that's it.
That's a great place to end it.
I think so.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks,
we will
everyone.
talk to y'all again soon.
We are Star Wars.